you guys perceive Cassian Andor to be when this show starts? Who is he?
In my opinion, he's kind of a fuck up in a lot of ways. Because not and taking away the fact that he killed 2 people, but the fact that when he comes back to Ferrix and every single person in his life that he's interacting with is like, what the fuck do you want now? Like, is it money? Like, who am I lying for? Like, I gotta borrow somebody from something. Like, you need 200 credits now this time. Like, it's clear that he's not been like so much burdensome on everybody else, but like, he's clearly not the one that's pulling his weight in a world where everybody's got to survive. And his way of surviving is kind of leaning a bit too hard on everyone around him. That's crystal clear when it comes to those beginning episodes. And when we come to the end of this 3rd episode, those cracks are starting to show where like, oh, this is what he actually cares about, or this is what he can care about. And this may be why he's doing the things that he's doing, because like there's so much like shitty oppression that's been happening, so that he doesn't really care that whole much about fairness.
Right. He's a victim of the Empire without actually being able to put your finger on the fact that he is a victim of the Empire. He's transformed by the world that he's living in. Charles, what do you think?
I think the thing that's so genius is that what Gilroy is doing is he's using a lot of spy tropes. Think about it. Like, Cassian is a man without a country. He's a man without a planet. His planet has been destroyed. His people have been destroyed. He's been taken away. Ferrix is not really his home. He has an adoptive mother, and it seems like his adopted father was strung up in the square by the Empire. That's what it seems like. The other thing that I was also confused about is that, like, while Cassian has no love for the Empire, the reason that Marva and Clem take him is because, they just killed a Republic.
It was the Republic.
I was like, oh, okay. So like, not only does he have no love for the Empire, the Republic was not much better. It's not like he's like, let me restore the Republic. Like, because that's how we usually see a lot of the rebels. We're like, yeah, remember the good old days? There were no good old days for him. He was chilling on a planet and it was fine. So you have this child who has no planet anymore. His history has been destroyed. His people have been destroyed. He's not fighting for anything. And that's what I think so much of this show is going to be about. Because when he meets Luthen, to your point, man, Luthen is like, this is like a piece of coal. And if I shape him, he can be a diamond. But to shape him, I have to give him something to fight for. I need to give him something to believe in. Because if I don't, he's running around causing fucking mayhem. And that's what we see in Ferrix. It's like, if you leave him alone, he is going to cause mayhem. And that's what I think I loved about these first 3 episodes.
Johnny, who was Cassian Andor to you?
Cassian Andor to me is, that dude who every time like you come around, like you with your friends, and then that dude come around, you're like, oh, bro, not this dude, bro.
Like he steals your chicken fingers and doesn't eat with you. He leaves. That kind of guy.
Yeah, something like that. Every time, like he goes to the shipyard and he's changing the chip ID logs, and the dude's like, man, you can't come by no more, bro. You're a problem. Every time you show up, it's something to deal with. You know what I mean? The dude stops in the streets like, hey, bro, I need my money. Gets the muscle on him, or the dude who just wants to stand there. You know what I'm saying? Even Brazo saw him for the first time. He was like, bro, Cassian, bro, what you need, bro? Bix is annoyed by seeing him. Don't even get me started on Tim. Tim can't stand that dude, right?
Yeah.
Nah, Tim a player hater, bro.
Well, we'll get to Tim later. We'll get to him. But everywhere he goes, everybody's like, this dude, I'm not trying to see this dude. So ultimately, him leaving, probably best for everybody. But at the same time, like, he was just a guy who nobody was messing with because he didn't have his stuff in order.
Do you guys remember in Phantom Menace when, great movie, in Phantom Menace, and you guys remember in Phantom Menace when Padme says, I didn't realize that there was slavery still out here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, she goes, well, yeah, the Republic doesn't exist out here. We just doing our thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that to me tells you that this show could be an indictment, not just of the empire itself, but of a failure of systems to do for people. And in Star Wars, the promise of a new republic was always the promise to do better, even than the old republic. When I say the old republic, I'm not talking about the old republic video game fans. I'm talking about the republic that we got a chance to get to know during the prequels, And so it seems like there were a lot of people who weren't, in the mid rim and the outer rim who weren't really feeling the stability of that either. So we get a chance to get a whole 360 view of the universe right now.
Wait, really quick too, I want to go off what you just said. They say it in these episodes. What do Bix and Cassian do? They bribe quartermasters to leave shit from the Empire on these ships that they can strip and then sell to the rebels. So what that tells you is that the Empire ain't working for everybody. You could be working for the Empire and they ain't paying your bills. So they just literally like, all right, hey, just sell these to the rebels, which I thought was so genius because in Star Wars, you always just think it's black and white. Empire's bad, rebels good. And in this, you're just like, the Empire, like working for the Empire, like we knew it sucked. But like, dog, you ain't even getting paid for this shit.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It's tough.